Hi, this is Chase Curtis, graduate master's in business administration at the University of Denver. And I'm here to talk about a session I just saw at South by Southwest called The Future of Social with Jay Graber, Blue Sky CEO. Um, so, Blue Sky was founded and launched a few years ago, 2022, and they've seen some pretty good growth. Um, they are basically the anti-private platform thing. They think that private platforms have locked users in for too long, contributing to a lack of innovation and competition in social media. Um, and this Blue Sky is an open network that is starting to, get some popularity behind it and change the way that social media is used and returning the choices to the users is all what they're all about. And so. Realistically, Blue Sky was built on protocols and not on a central platform. So what that means is there's a ton of different ways for the user to create their own experience and decide what they want to see um, and be able to engage with the things that they want to engage with. And so Blue Sky is an open social network. Is more of an open web, so it's able to like open up to the web, like the World Wide Web, much like email or like websites or in general. Um, and the goal is user choice and developer freedom. So within this, the users can create their own things using the tools that exist, or because it's open code and open source, people can actually make their own um, uh, like experiences and utilizing that code to basically talk amongst other applications that are uh, built on that. Blue Sky is super small. It's a 21 person team. There's 31 million users right now. And some of the tenets of it are it's about decentralization, and federation. So you can host your own data if you choose to. Meaning like I can have my own server and back up everything that's in Blue Sky, my pictures, my um, my my handle can just be accessible to me, and I own it as a user. Um, and they really thought that the communication structure needed to be a little bit more democratic, and so that open network allows for this. Um, and then they take an interesting stance to content moderation. So they have a Blue Sky moderation service. So if you go in the app, you can see it, but like you can essentially say what you want to see. You can give things tags. So for example, the founder or the CEO, she said, um, she has a politics tag, and so if she wants to see what's going on in the space, but she doesn't want to get bogged down with like the political things that are going on. It'll just like blur it out, just say politics. And then when she wants to see that, eventually she can choose to toggle that off and then be able to be exposed to it. And so it's really letting the users like know when they want to see things and what they want to use it for. Um, it's kind of more of a choose your own adventure to create a less toxic space. Um, and they really talked about the how Blue Sky is billionaire proof in a sense that it won't shitify, meaning that the it won't just be so worried about making money that it's just a stream of ads that are coming down. And the really what guarantees this is that the code is open source, and so you can't change it without everyone knowing, and so just people can just like choose to leave, which I thought was pretty interesting. They're also a B Corp, so they're supposed to be for public good. So I think that's another thing that just like kind of keeps them outside of the wanting for somebody to acquire them, essentially. And then you're able to do custom feeds, the self-hosting. There's alternative platforms as well. So what has been built on top of this, and it connects via your Blue Sky login is this app called Flashes, and it's meant to be kind of an Instagram type um, alternative, where it's like a photo sharing app that's on the Blue Sky network, and you can just seamlessly go from one to the other. Um, And then this is a good example of it's not like the host. So like Blue Sky itself is not the host. It doesn't own any of these tertiary apps. Other people are able to make these. Um, and uh, they got in a little bit about the AI and what the applications could be. And obviously, they're a little more concerned about users consenting to it, but an interesting application could be that if they create their own LLM, they have their AI, users can choose how their data is utilized and input it into the LLMs, and you can use that LLM to describe something and like, I want to see this type of thing for my feed, and it'll create a custom feed for you based on that input. Um, they have also innovated and the like it's easy to kind of get on board with this, and I think this is driving some growth for sure. Is they call them starter packs, and so you are able to send this to somebody. So, for example, I'm like a marine biologist, and I want my friend to get on Blue Sky to follow all of the other marine biologists. So it's just a list of everyone that I follow that are marine biologists. It's labeled that way. I can send the link to somebody, they can sign up, and then they can have just a entire stack of people that is just marine biologists, and it's very seamless at that point. Um, I think this business model is promising. It's catering to the users, not investors and corporations, which is always a good sign. Uh, Jay did acknowledge the fact that they're scaling in more recent years, but until the bulk of the users base is in Blue Sky from like Instagram, from X, from Facebook, I just don't see this becoming as ubiquitous as those like three. Um, I do believe that the model for open source is probably going to be replicated around the digital space, and the notion of user choice will probably be mimicked, or at least the illusion of it. Um, I think it's a promising outlook of what social media could be. If it's going to happen, not really sure. Honestly, I think it's a little bit too technical and in the weeds and laborious for users to do that. Um, so if they want, they'll probably have to make it a little bit easier to change your feeds and moderation, and maybe just have like a standard thing, which they do. It was pretty open, and so the why the other ones are so successful is that it knows what you want, and until they can kind of get that, I just don't believe that it's going to be as successful. A lot of people when they're interacting on platforms, they just want it to be as seamless as possible. So we'll see where it is. I'm on Blue Sky. I don't really check it that often, but I think I'm gonna dip my toes into this Flash thing and start looking at that for picture sharing. So thank you for your time.